All right, thank you, Tania. Well, new on Now at 11, consumer price inflation jumped way more than expected last month. That's according to new data just released by the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Joining me today to break down some of these numbers and really what it means for you is Dr. Ben Meadows. He's an assistant professor of economics at UAB's Collette School of Business. Thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
So we were just talking during the break. First of all, what do these numbers show and what do they tell you?
Yep, so the report that came out today shows that inflation has ticked up, which is not good news, okay? But the thing that we can maybe have a little bit of confidence in is that inflation has been on a slide over the past 6 to 12 months. So that's the good news. So we have to take good news and bad news all in one step. So on the one hand, inflation may be ticking up, but on the other hand, it may be driven by long-term rents that are bound to come down. So still a lot of uncertainty, but not the report we were hoping for today.
You know, I asked you during the commercial break that prices are going up. Prices at the grocery store, everything has gone up. We know that. Are they ever coming back down?
No, that's the sad news. So how inflation works is inflation's measuring the rate of change in prices that consumers experience. So when we say inflation goes down to 0%, that means prices stay at that level forever. So I was actually talking to a student yesterday and they're like, Coca-Cola is $2.19 at my grocery store. And I was like, that means that if we get inflation under control and it's at 0%, that Coke's gonna be $2.19.
For the rest of our lives.
For the rest of our lives.
It's not going to go down to
$1 Cokes are not coming back.
Dang, okay. Yeah, we're even seeing that with dollar stores. You know, it used to be $1, now it's $1.05 or something else, $1.25. So what can we do to stop inflation, to stop prices from going up?
Okay, that's the hard part, right? So it's a two-factor thing. What can individuals do? Absolutely nothing. You can't fight an economic-wide force. What you can do as an individual is ask for a raise to, adjust for a cost of a living. So, that would be a COLA, a cost of living adjustment, to help you deal with the fact that prices have risen so much, especially in groceries and things like that. Now, for economy-wide, this is where the Federal Reserve comes in. And so the Federal Reserve has taken an activist response to getting inflation under control. We've seen some good news recently, but that means that rates have gone up. So people who are in the mortgage market, they haven't loved that. That's a consequence of the Fed trying to cool down inflation. And they've also taken a number of other approaches to, again, try to get inflation under control. But we're seeing it on both angles, right? As a consumer, you see prices are going up and mortgage rates are going up. And that's just the tough part about fighting inflation.
So you mentioned asking for a raise, but what happens if everyone asks for a raise all at the same time?
That's called the wage spiral, right? So as economists are very worried about this. Now, the numbers that came out today don't show a huge uptick in service level inflation. So we're holding our breath because it is like the new fiscal year. This is when people would ask for a raise. But yes, you're right. If we see everyone rush out and get a cost of living adjustment, then businesses have to pass that cost along to consumers, which means that prices go back up. And that's where inflation can really kind of get out of control. So right now we don't see that. But again, the best way to summarize the report is that we just need to be cautious right now.
Okay, and my last question as we wrap up, because I know we're almost out of time, but so people are asking for a raise, if they don't get it, what can they do to make ends meet? Because our prices are still going to be that high.
That's where you have to be an elite shopper, right? Look for great deals, think about things and budget items. Again, I don't want to give marketing credit to stores that are doing this well, but it's exactly what we need to think about, is thinking about more budget-friendly grocery stores, more of those things, because the thing, like we mentioned earlier, is that now that prices are here to stay, this isn't going to change anytime soon. Yeah. So if you're a consumer, you have to now think very carefully about where you're purchasing groceries and things like that.
And what you buy. All right. Dr. Ben Meadows, we appreciate you being with us today. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.